Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show, along with my sidekick, Mr. Andrew Guitros.
Good morning.
And we were talking about me speaking with Horace LaFleur Jr. At the drugstore, and now we'll talk about Carl's.
Right, you saw him over at Carl's Thrifty Way, and of course, people go by there to get their prescriptions done, and you can see also in the photo all the gift items in the background. The place is literally full of items and Christmas items, day-to-day items, LSU, UL type items, but you can get your prescriptions filled, you can get over-the-counter medications as well. They've got the generics for you. I saw quite a few people, you know, I've been getting my blood tested there lately, trying to see if I'm up to date and all that. Got a little bit of cholesterol, needs to be watched. So the doctor said, watch the diet a little bit, I might have to get on the medicine. And I saw a lot of people are going to the generics. So you can get the generics a little bit cheaper. Some of the medicines you get, you got to get the real brand. So you got to kind of pick and choose, and they can do that for you. And I have friends that when they get on one of those, they got to take 2 or 3. Carl's can compound those multiple medicines, so you don't have to take 3 bottles. 1 bottle, easy to take. Go by Carl's here in Opelousas, Carl's Thrifty Way. And one more sponsor. Let's go with Chargill. Happy birthday, Ted Bellard. Ted Bellard just had the anniversary of his 18th birthday earlier this week. We want to congratulate him. He looks great for 18. Looks wonderful for 18. Ted, you're a good guy. We appreciate everything you do.
Yes, for the community.
That's
also.
right. That's right. But Targill with the seasoning, with the butcher supplies, their cutlery, kitchen supplies. If you're a restaurant, if you're a grocery store, if you're a caterer, if you're a chef, if you're a at-home cook, if you're a camp supper type of guy, they've got everything you need. All the cooking equipment, the knives. They've got the chopping blocks, the good ones that you can take those things and scald them and don't have to worry that they're going to carry. You know, those old wooden blocks kind of can be unsafe, you know, if they're not cleaned very, very well. These things that they've got there, you can put the hot water to them. They're not going to warp, and they're going to hold up for years and years and years. Go by Targill. They'll also do all the seasonings you need, custom seasoning blends if you want to sell your own seasoning or just buy some to use for yourself.
Okay, let's let me get a couple of obituaries.
We can do that
We've
too.
been kind of laxed on that. I spoke.
What? You knocked your microphone off? Well, how are we going to do that? We're going to do it like this, and we're going to just hope Steve forgives me if I didn't do it. Is that good enough? All right, Steve likes it.
Okay, Steve likes it.
What an engineer.
Celebrity of the life and memory of Mr. Berwick Big B George. And this is the program for the church services and thereafter. Beautiful, beautiful. All
and tons
colored,
of photos, yeah.
Lot of photos. And honorary pallbearers, there must be approximately 35 or 40. And my name is in that, Bobby Dupre. Of course, we were good friends. Over the years, I kept picking at him about those steaks he was marinating for me. What I said, 29 years last week on the program, I think 29 years, and I quit counting. That's how long it was. But we had fun. He had something going with all of his friends.
Right.
A person who died also, well known in the Port Barre area and in education, is Shelby Ryder.
My old principal.
Yep,
that's
right.
My day.
And a very successful coach, principal, and just a good citizen in the Port Barre community. Well liked and respected, and worked with a lot of youngsters over the years. My deepest sympathies to the family. And Miss Sidney J. Sandoz Jr. Died, and that would be Neil and Doug's mother. That's correct. And her age
93.
93. And of course she was a walker, and I spoke about Mr. Bob Walker a number of occasions. Used to have a camp right by there. Well, that was his sister. And I was a little surprised over the years.
She was Miss Lidwin Walker.
Lidwin Walker, right. So our deepest sympathies to the Sandoz family.
The funeral was at St. Landry Church, you know, and they had I didn't get to go to the funeral, but the main window, the big resurrection window showing Christ raised, was donated by Mrs. J.B. Sandoz. the main window. So I just think it's kind of fitting, you know, here she was, you know, the Sandals family, that long connection to church and everything in the community. Beautiful.
A person who was born in the Opelousas, Port Barry area, but had moved and was living over in the Baton Rouge area is Mr. Wallace Joseph Lacombe. And he was age 78, another good age. And reading the obituary, he'd been married to his wife for 55 years, Miss Norma Richard Lacombe, living in Baton Rouge. And but I read in here where his sister, Audrey Cummins, and her husband is Kenneth Cummins. You know Charles Cummins? That's his brother. Kenneth is his brother. And then Linda McCormick and husband Carl. Well, that's Carl with the Dixie Glass, Dixie Trucking, and all that. Dick, what's the glass company name now? A Plus Glass. Carl works with the A Plus Glass in the Lafayette office. I
also think Mr. Lacombe must be Fifi's uncle. Our friend Fifi.
That knows all the birthdays. And her sister Pam. Good morning to the Lacombe family.
And thank you, Fifi, for giving me a call on my birthday again this year.
Oh, she did.
You know she wasn't going to miss.
She did with mine, too.
That's it.
Let's get one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Denny. Denny Guitros.
That's right. Denny Guitros, who was originally from here. His dad was Earl Guitros, who had been the chief of police years and years ago. He became an architect and went to Baton Rouge and then moved back here to town. And a lot of people knew him. He got very involved with Indian Hills. And Indian Hills was trying to figure out what to do before the Young family bought it. He was very involved. I know Kyle Dejon was very involved. And coincidentally, I kind of helped Jim Daugherty when Jim Daugherty ran. And Denny helped Kyle when they had run against each other. We were all friendly, you know, all running to try to get a good judge in, had a lot of great candidates, and we just all got to be good friends. But Denny was a great guy, and coincidentally, a Guitros, so I mean, he couldn't be bad, right?
Can't be bad. And another person well known, particularly in the field of education, he was superintendent of schools in Acadia Parish for a number of years, but he was also president of the Louisiana Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, the highest board to be elected to work on school activities on a statewide level. And I'm speaking of Mr. John Bertrand, John Avery Bertrand from right there in Crowley, Louisiana. Our deepest sympathies to the family and all of his friends throughout the state.
This weekend, if you go by St. Landry Church, watch for the Knights of Columbus in their vest. They'll be selling Tootsie Rolls to help the area cerebral palsy clinics. So if you can, they're just asking for a donation to get your Tootsie Roll, whatever you want to donate. If you got a dollar bill in your pocket or $100 bill, you know, they'll take those too for those Tootsie Rolls. Just give them.
I was asked to show a picture. Well, he didn't ask me to show his picture, but I took the picture.
How about this one?
And I'm speaking of Daniel Bowe. Daniel Bowe, of course, is known in our Acadiana community for Daniel Bowe Landscaping. And very knowledgeable. In fact, he worked for one of the big firms and was in charge of educating people that purchase flowers and plants, and you know how to go about it properly and get the best out of your book and getting it to
and
grow.
He's probably had his own business 25 years. I mean, he's done very, very well.
He lost his phone or lost it maybe in water or something. I forgot how he lost it, but they issued him a new phone number. So that's what I'm trying to get to you. If you know Daniel Bowe, you want to put this into your cell phone or write it down at your office or whatever. It's 337-351-8719. I'll give you that one back. That was last Friday. He gave me this at the Palace Cafe, having coffee and breakfast.
Good morning, Miss Tina.
That's correct. And all the locals that attend there all the time. Got a phone call and a nice phone visit, and I'm going to go have coffee with him. And I'm speaking about our friend, and he advertised with us here locally for many years. Joe Smith, Mr. Joe Smith Furniture Company is going out of business. So if you're needing any type of furniture, now would be the time to consider going over to Joe Smith Furniture and getting the bargain of your life. He's after 55 years of successful business, and he says, Bobby, please thank all of my friends and customers for thinking of us every time they needed, or every time their children got married and they needed furniture, they came in here and we worked out a credit deal, or they paid cash. And
that rocking chair for those last 2 babies, that's where it came from, Joe Smith.
Joe Smith.
In the middle of the night.
And they deliver, and you know, just they down, and it's gonna. I said, how long are you gonna be open? He said, till we sell all the furniture. He says, it's my property, so nobody's running me off or anything.
No rush.
No rush, but he'd like to get it out. And his health is still good, and he just felt it was time for him to kind of relax and do some personal things.
Sure.
And again, thanks so much. And I'll remind y'all again next week of these 2 announcements on Daniel Bow and on Joe Smith Furniture, selling out all that beautiful furniture right there on I-49, right next
at the service road,
next to
the former DC's
now Sterling, Buick, and GMC.
You got it. Mr. Cortland Reed over at Sons Auto Exchange has his 3rd annual food drive to help icons. If you go by Sons Auto Exchange, that's on West Vine Street, 1232. Drop off some canned goods on November 23rd from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. They're going to do it all day long. Please go by, bring some canned goods, and help to restock the pantry at Icons. It's that time of the year. 351-8191.
Let's get some pictures real quick. We'll start off with...
how about this? A sunset over Opelousas Catholic High School.
You said Opelousas Catholic.
That's what that is.
That must have been... That's a sunrise. That's sunrise. That was...
You get up that... Oh, you went to get a test done at the hospital.
Blood work done at Opelousas General Hospital.
You and I need to start selling our blood as much as we give.
As much as we give it. This lady here, I just looked at her, and the lady on the left, Miss Evelyn Pete, she had a real smile. You know who she looks like?
Who's that?
Pat Mason Guillory. Look,
she had that expression with the glasses on top of the head.
Top of the head.
A
lot. Yeah. But anyhow, I said, I don't recognize you, and not that I know everybody, but you just don't look like you from here. I said, you dress stylish and all that. And she says, well, to be honest with you, we just returned to the Opelousas area, actually LeBeau, she says. Her husband is Paul Pete, and she is Miss Evelyn Pete, the lady on the left. Mm-hmm. And they retired in the Los Angeles, California area and decided to come back to Palmetto, Louisiana.
Oh, been to Palmetto.
On Highway 71 and LeBeau there. Mm-hmm. Actually, not Palmetto, in LeBeau.
That's all right.
And right on there, 71, building a beautiful, I said, I know the house. I said, I didn't take a picture, but I went across the street and took a picture of the Catholic church there. She said, well, you know exactly where we're building. She said, you are correct. And the young lady with her is her daughter, Ronzie Hearn. And I said, are you moving to the LeBeau area? She didn't take but a half a second. Nope. She's staying, I imagine she's staying, I didn't ask her where she's staying, but she's probably in Los Angeles. And of course, she and her husband, Paul, are both retired, and we wish them well and a lot of success. And that was over at Sherwin-Williams. We were picking out some paint colors. And this is in the afternoon, going to my condo over at the Sycamore Point, and stopped in at Lydia Food Store like we do every time to pick up those last-minute items that you you do your shopping here.
Sure.
It's a full-service store.
Good fresh food.
And the young lady on the left is Crystal, and the young lady on the right is Taylor. They're both cashiers. Taylor is a student in college and will be transferring to UL the coming semester. So we, of course, wish her well, and wish all of you young people that are watching the shows, or you have somebody you help out maybe with expenses and all, encourage them to further their education when they graduate from high school. Correct. Please do something positive.
We'll see you folks on the other side of 1 minute.